Hi, everyone. I'm Josh Radbod, co-founder and CEO of the Avantpay Conference, the B2B conference for payments, banking, and compliance in the cannabis industry. I'd like to welcome Jackie Jenkins-Scott, board member at Century Bank, one of our Avantpay 21 conference speakers. Jackie, thank you so much for being here. Please tell us a little bit about you and what your business does.
Thank you so much for having me. Delighted to be here and looking forward to meeting you in person next year.
Yes.
My business, I am a board leader. I serve on several boards, for-profit and nonprofit. I am a coach, coaching leaders in development, primarily in healthcare and education, and some corporate clients. And I am a consultant. I work with companies and organizations around strategy, problem solving, team building, those kinds of things. But I really enjoy serving as a board member. I am here with Avantpay because I serve on the board of a bank, and we do a lot of business. In fact, we're the leading regional bank in our region for working with the cannabis industry. And I think that's how you found me.
That is exactly how I found you. Thank you so much for that introduction, Jackie. So can you tell us a little bit more about your customers, specifically your cannabis customers, and how do you help them?
Sure. So basically, I'm on a bank board. So the cannabis customers are not my customers per se. They're the bank customers.
Certainly.
Our bank started off, Century Bank started off dealing with the cannabis industry, a decade ago, when in Massachusetts, we only had medical uses of cannabis, and the industry just didn't have a place to do its banking. And we looked at this as an opportunity, thought a lot about it, and over the period of several years, we became the largest banker for this industry. Many people thought it was very much a risk. Many people thought that given that cannabis was not legal, it still had the federal laws. But over time, we became the go-to bank for this industry. And then when we, in Massachusetts, passed the law for recreational use of marijuana, the bank at first took a step back and decided we would not deal with recreational use. But some of us, me included, felt like that was not a wise move. And so we we really convinced our president and CEO that here we were a leader. Either we were going to continue to lead or we were going to lose our place as a leader. And his concern was that, of course, federally, cannabis use was still illegal. And he thought that this would, could potentially harm the bank. But we convinced him that, the risk was low. And sure enough, several months later, maybe a year later, the feds essentially came out and said, well, we're not going to really, we're going to turn, an eye and have a wink and a blink and not, prosecute or go after, the banking industry for banking this business. So we have now just continued to grow and our business has exploded.
Thank you for saying that, Jackie. Yeah, I've known you guys are a leader in the space, and now I know that has a lot to do with you and convincing the president and CEO to move forward with this. So I know there's a lot of cannabis-related companies out there that would thank you for doing that. So I'm saying thank you on their behalf. So next question, I want to ask you a question about our conference here. So what are you most excited about for the Avantpay 21 conference next year?
I think this business, this industry is still new and growing and evolving. And I am a person, I love strategy, I love innovation, I love creativity. So I'm really excited to hear what industry leaders are thinking. What's the next step? How we're growing the business. What happens to small small business owners and versus the big guys and the money who's now coming into the industry. What does this mean for people of color? So those are all the kinds of things I want to hear about, and hoping that the conference is going to pay attention to, or at least for people like me, geeks like me who are interested in these kind of things. Hopefully you have a little bit on the agenda that we can get excited about.
100%, and we certainly will. And you kind of touched on this a bit, but who would you like to meet at the Avantpay 21 conference, and why?
I like to meet everybody. I'm a person who likes to hear and talk with people, and I guess I really want to meet people who are thinking about expansion and how they're thinking about it. So that's one group of people, where they see the opportunities. And we know that, obviously this is a growing industry and a growing business. I also would love to talk to people who took some risk a decade ago, a half a decade ago, and how they're feeling now, what pressures they're feeling, how competition is impacting their business and their growth plans, if they have growth plans. And then I'd love to talk with some of the people that are packaging and putting together partnerships and collaborations, and kind of understand what they're looking for and how they think about these kind of issues. And then finally, is there a bubble? Is there
Great question.
and when do people think it's coming? So those kinds of things. And I think, hopefully you'll have industry leaders there who, are thinking about all of these things. Obviously, this isn't my, 24/7 business. So I'd love to talk to people for whom this is their 24/7 business, and they're constantly thinking about these issues.
Certainly, yes. And those questions will be answered, and those conversations will be had, and those leaders will be there as well for you to communicate with. So we're very, very excited about that. So this is a great question that I want to ask you, Jackie. What is one fact about you that would surprise everyone?
One fact about me that would surprise everyone. Well, I am a walker. I try to, but I'm a fair weather walker. So that's probably the thing that will surprise people. I live in the Boston area, and right now it's kind of cloudy and drizzly out. And of course, I didn't go out today. So I'm
It's getting cold, right?
But I try to get in anywhere from 3 to 6 miles a day. And so that's my time for reflection, and, my form of meditation. It's my form of just clearing my mind. So what people might be surprised at is I walk with no music. I don't listen to books on tape when I'm walking. I don't listen to music. It really is, total reflection time for me.
Yeah, that's it's like you said, like your meditation. I love that. I do that sometimes on walks too. It's great to clear the head and just kind of think about things that, you don't get a chance to think about in the day to day. So that's fantastic. Well, Jackie, thank you so much for being here and speaking at our Avantpay 21 conference. Folks, if you would like to meet Jackie and her team, please join us at the Avantpay 21 conference next year at the Washington Capitol Hilton on September 9th and 10th, 2021. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
See you next year.
See ya.